Millions of people remember their faces from the golden age of cinema. 8 Men, 1 Screen. A story about sacrifice, courage, and the price of living by the gun. The Magnificent Seven rode into theaters in 1960 and never really rode back out. Very few people know what happened after the final credits rolled. This is where they all went. Yul Brynner was the man on the poster. The shaved head, the black wardrobe, the eyes that never blinked. When he walked onto that dusty Mexican street as Chris Adams, every other actor organized himself around the stillness Brynner carried. He didn't need to raise his voice. He simply stood there, and the camera believed him. Born in Vladivostok, Russia in 1920, his family's fortune was seized by the Red Army when he was 2. He moved through Russia, China, and France like a man being reshuffled by invisible hands. As a teenager in Switzerland, he spent a year treating an opium addiction. By the time he reached America at 21, he could perform in 11 languages. The King and I made him a global star. He played the King of Siam 4,625 times on stage and won the Academy Award for the 1956 film. In September 1983, hours before his 4,000th performance, doctors told him he had inoperable lung cancer. He kept performing. He died at New York Hospital on October 10, 1985 at 65. Before he went, he taped a public service announcement released only after his death, his face on camera, his voice steady. "Now that I am gone, I tell you, do not smoke." He turned his own dying into a warning for strangers. His ashes were buried at a Russian Orthodox monastery in France. The man who played the calmest gunfighter in the picture turned his final year into a public service. Steve McQueen played Vin Tanner with 7 lines of dialogue and spent the entire shoot trying to steal every frame from Brynner anyway. He flipped coins during Brynner's speeches, rattled shotgun shells, kicked flat the dirt mounds Brynner had built under his feet to appear taller. Brynner hired an assistant whose sole job was to count how many times McQueen touched his hat while Brynner was speaking. McQueen was 30 at the premiere and had already lived more than most actors twice his age. His father left before he was born. His mother left him with grandparents in Missouri. A stepfather beat him. At 14, he was placed in a reform school. At 17, he enlisted in the Marines. As punishment for going AWOL, they assigned him to strip asbestos from pipes aboard a Navy troop ship. Nobody told him what asbestos was. 30 years later, those fibers killed him. After the film, he became one of the most recognized men in the world. The Great Escape, Bullet, Papillon. By 1974, the highest-paid actor in Hollywood. In December 1979, a biopsy confirmed pleural mesothelioma, a direct result of that troop ship. He flew to Mexico for alternative treatments and checked into a clinic in Ciudad Juarez under the alias Sam Shepard for surgery. The operation was reported a success. 12 hours later, his heart stopped while he slept. He was 50. His ashes were scattered across the Pacific Ocean. He married 3 times. Barbara Minty, his 3rd wife, was at his bedside when the end came. Charles Bronson had worked a Pennsylvania coal mine at 16 for $1 a ton. Born the 11th of 15 children of Lithuanian coal miners, English was not spoken at home until school. His father died when Charles was 10. He joined the Army Air Forces in 1943 and flew 25 combat missions as a tail gunner on B-29s over the Pacific. He came home with a Purple Heart and was told to change his surname during the McCarthy era. Buczynski sounded too Eastern European. He became Bronson. American studios ignored him through the 1960s. He had to go to Europe to become a star. By the early 1970s, he was the highest-paid screen actor on the planet. The marriage that defined him was his second, to actress Jill Ireland. They made 15 films together. Jill died of breast cancer in 1990. Bronson placed her ashes inside a hollow walking cane and carried it with him every day for the next 13 years. He died at Cedars-Sinai on August 30, 2003, at 81. He was buried in Vermont. The cane containing Jill's ashes was buried beside him. Eli Wallach played Calvera, the smiling bandit chief who terrorized the village, not out of cruelty but weary professionalism. He laughed with his victims and made audiences almost understand him before he did something unforgivable. Born in Brooklyn in 1915, he became a founding member of the Actors Studio alongside Marlon Brando and in 1948 married actress Anne Jackson and never left her. In 1953, Harry Cohn offered him the role of Maggio in From Here to Eternity. He turned it down for a Tennessee Williams play. The part went to Frank Sinatra, who won the Academy Award for it. Wallach said he never regretted the decision. His marriage to Anne Jackson lasted 66 years. In November 2010, at 94, he accepted an honorary Oscar and became the oldest person ever to receive one at the ceremony. He died on June 24, 2014, at 98. James Coburn played Britt, the knife thrower who joined the Seven for the challenge alone. The scene that made him a star takes less than 2 minutes. A gunman insists on a contest. Britt agrees. The knife flies. The other man falls. Britt walks away. The whole character was built on stillness. In the 1980s, severe rheumatoid arthritis began twisting his hands into shapes he could not straighten. Hollywood forgot about him for a decade. Then in 1999, at 70, he accepted the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for Affliction. His hands were so swollen he could barely hold the statue. He held it anyway. He died of a heart attack at his Beverly Hills home on November 18, 2002, at 74. His wife said he died in her arms while they listened to music. She died of cancer less than 2 years later. Horst Buchholz was 26 at the premiere and already famous across Europe. He played Chico in his second language, Far From Home, with a hunger nobody else on that set matched. Born in Berlin in 1933, he walked himself back to that city as a teenager after the war ended and refused to leave it again. By 1957, the German press called him the German James Dean. He turned down Lawrence of Arabia. He turned down a David Lean follow-up. Both went to Peter O'Toole. Those two decisions ended his American career before it fully began. The hat, the stillness, the eyes, none of it was performance. It was biography. He married actress Miriam Bro in 1958 and stayed married for 45 years. Though they lived separately, she in Paris, he in Berlin. He developed pneumonia after hip surgery and died on March 3, 2003, at 69. Friends had been told he was improving. Robert Vaughn played Lee, the well-dressed gunfighter running from his own collapsing nerve. The film's most honest scene belongs to him. A quiet confession to two farmers in which Lee admits his hands tremble every time he draws his weapon. While starring in The Man from UNCLE from 1964 to 1968 and playing secret agent Napoleon Solo to a worldwide audience, Vaughn was simultaneously writing a doctoral dissertation on the Hollywood political blacklist. He earned the PhD in 1970. The dissertation became a book still assigned in American law schools. He died at home on November 11, 2016, Veterans Day, at 83, the last of the 7 gunfighters still walking. Brad Dexter is the one people forget. He played Harry Luck, the cynical gunslinger convinced Chris Adams is hiding a bigger reward. Harry spends the whole film asking about the gold. He dies still wondering. He was the only one of the 7 who never broke through to stardom. But here is the story that should have made him famous. On May 10, 1964, on a beach in Kauai during production, Frank Sinatra was swept out to sea by a riptide. Brad Dexter swam out after him and stayed in the water for 45 minutes. At one point, Sinatra murmured, "It's all over. Please take care of my kids." 2 surfers helped Dexter drag him to shore. Sinatra made him a vice president at Sinatra Enterprises. 3 years later, Dexter advised Sinatra not to marry the 20-year-old Mia Farrow. Sinatra cut him off. He never publicly thanked Dexter for saving his life. Not once. Dexter died of emphysema on December 12, 2002, at 85. His grave is in Desert Memorial Park in Cathedral City, California. Frank Sinatra is buried in the same cemetery, approximately 100 yards away. They rest in the Pacific Ocean, on the grounds of a French monastery, on a Vermont hillside, in a Berlin churchyard, and in a California desert beside the man one of them once pulled from the water. The 7 rode in together, scattered the way men always do after a war. The Magnificent 7 made them legends. What came after made them human, and the human stories, as always, are the ones worth telling.